Good morning. Best wishes from Dubai to all of you attending the World Family Summit. I'm really pleased to see that you have focused this year on education. Progress towards education for all is one of the most important of the UN Millennium Development Goals. Our target is universal primary education for all children by 2015. As a UN Messenger of Peace, one of my jobs has been to push for more progress towards those goals. The news on education at the last review by the UN in September was mixed. The trends are favorable in much of Asia, Latin America and the Middle East and North Africa, but we are falling short in South Asia and far more so in Sub-Saharan Africa. Education is certainly the highest priority for us in Dubai and the UAE. His Highness Sheikh Mohammed created a $10 billion fund in 2007 to create universal education in the Arab world and strengthen its quality. Some countries have made remarkable advances. Primary school enrollment in Ethiopia, for example, has risen to 15.5 million, a stunning 500% increase over the past decade. But there are some special challenges that may well slow us down if we do not find ways to meet them. In particular, it has proved far harder to get both rural and disabled children into schools. Infrastructure and other costs are often higher in reaching these children. There is another underlying issue which does not get that much attention that I would like to highlight today, and that's child nutrition. Hungry and malnutrition children cannot learn like other students. Investing in education makes little sense if young students are so damaged by hunger that they cannot concentrate and learn. The children most deeply affected by hunger are often limited in their learning capacity very early in life, a handicap many never fully overcome. This is why early child nutrition interventions should be the #1 priority for development aid, higher than any other type of assistance. Malnutrition should not handicap any child, yet severe malnutrition is destroying the lives of 20 million a year. But it is not only a moral issue, it is an economic one as well. The World Bank has calculated the huge economic costs of malnutrition. People who are malnourished lose more than 10% of potential lifetime earnings, and many of their countries lose 2 to 3% of GDP each year. Fortunately, the attention of the aid community is directed more these days on combating early child malnutrition. After a series of articles in 2008 in the UK medical journal The Lancet, MSF, UNICEF and WFP and others began to focus not just on therapeutic foods to overcome severe malnutrition in young children, but also new specifically formulated foods aimed at prevention. Now a host of new food products are being developed, with some even manufactured in developing countries themselves. Another aspect tying the success of education to nutrition is a simple thing called attention span. Have you ever tried to get a hungry child to pay attention? It's not easy. My own 3-year-old daughter is, of course, wonderful, charming, and an excellent little student, unless she's hungry. A number of studies in the US have shown a direct correlation between good test scores and how recently a child had a meal with an adequate level of carbohydrates. So not only do we need to ensure that young children are properly nourished at home, we need to ensure that provision is made for midday meals. That often means the World Food Programme and others have done some remarkable work in developing countries in setting up and supporting national school feeding networks. These networks can even help rural small farmers if the government purchases food locally. Can we end child hunger? Truthfully, it is reasonable to be a bit pessimistic. After all, the overall numbers of hungry people have actually been trending up, not down, since the mid-1990s. Of all the Millennium Development Goals, we have done worst on cutting the prevalence of hunger. In fact, nearly 1 billion people are still chronically hungry today. Nevertheless, some countries are turning things around, sometimes dramatically. The star performer is one like Ghana. After years of climate disasters and civil war, Ghana has emerged as the only African country that is on track to meet the MDGs. Hunger among Ghanaian children has been reduced by half since 1980s. The payoff educationally and economically for ending child hunger would be enormous. A University of California study in Guatemala showed that boys given a nutritional supplement as babies went on to perform far better in school and earned nearly 50% more as adults. The question is, and has always been, political will. I hope all the members of the World Family Organization will add their voices to the call to end hunger among all our children, and soon. Thank you so much for your time, and I wish you a successful meeting.